Just go back to page 105 so that you get the continuity. It's talking of the world of form. After the falling, that's the last few lines of the page, after the falling of mortality's cloak. So it is as if a covering. The physical body is like a dress, that dress has to be altered. Once it is faded, once it is torn, it falls. The spirit goes back to its origin. It drops old patterned palls of denser stuff. That is why you don't need to live physically the same form again and again and again. You cannot continue this physical existence until the transformation is complete. This form will decay. It will deteriorate. There will be falling. There will be death. It's not death, it's a change. It drops old patterned palls of denser stuff. Pall is just the covering. It's the black cloth that covers the coffin. It's not the person. Cancels the grip of earth's descending pull, because why does the form come down on earth? There is the pull of matter. Matter is dense. Matter has gravitation. Matter, therefore, this density brings down the form, it becomes a solid shape. And this shape slowly helps us to proceed until it is no longer capable of continuing. It becomes faded like a dress, it is torn, the body drops off, the outer form falls off. And then the soul is freed from this form, and the soul goes back and bears the soul from world to higher world. Now page 106. Till in the naked ether of the speaks, where the world of form is above the world of form is the world of pure consciousness, ether. It is a projection of the original consciousness, the Sat Chit Ananda, that projects itself into materialization, into expression, the expression of matter, the expression of life, the expression of body. And when that task is over, when it cannot continue to be, it withdraws. What is left at the end? Till in the naked ether of the speaks, the spirit's simplicity alone is left, the eternal being's first transparent robe. This form, on the higher level, is the subtle physical. This subtle physical is the first robe of the spirit, because spirit is formless. At some state, the spirit or the consciousness accepts to wear an individualized form, and that is the first robe. And when it must come back to its mortal load and the hard ensemble of earth's experience, then its return resumes that heavier dress. So it always wears the same dress. It's like a very well-ordered creation. When the human being, for instance, withdraws from his body, his spirit goes back. But when the human being returns, the spirit takes on a form. It always wears a human form. It doesn't wear the form of some other being, neither a god nor a flower. It is as if there is a kind of a constant continuation and memory and order in the world of manifestation. It's very well ordered. And the hard ensemble of earth's experience, then its return resumes that heavier dress. It puts on the same form. 4. Long before Earth's solid vest was forged, Earth's solid vest is the world of matter. The matter was the last to be projected out of the spirit, the original consciousness. It is a forging. Forging, it is the working with metal, shaped, molded. The spirit doesn't have to be molded because resistance is not there. In matter there is resistance. there is inertia, and therefore there is as if you have to beat a piece of metal and give it a particular expression. Long before Earth's solid vest was forged. He's just telling us this is all its clothing, vest, cloak, words like this. So this outer form is just a kind of clothing. It has always been described as a clothing. But the technique of the atomic void, and that is the miracle. Who makes the shape? From where does it come? Where does matter come from? It's energy. Energy becomes matter. Energy is void of form. That's the original play of the divine creation. There was no form to start with. Then there was the, you might say, movement of energy that created some technique by a kind of a crust that was formed on the world of energy. You have the world of matter. Out of the world of matter, later life emerges. Out of the world of life, mind emerges. All this implies that the original consciousness had involved itself into the lowest, so that from the lowest, gradually the higher levels can emerge one after the other. So in all that Sri Aurobindo writes about, always the basic truth that we have to remember is involution, which precedes evolution. Evolution is a progressive manifestation from the lesser to the greater, but the greater must have plunged before the lesser, plunged into the absolute emptiness, so-called emptiness. Therefore, the emptiness is not empty. Inconscience is not unconscious. Darkness is not darkness, it's a covering. In the dark, the light is hidden. Therefore, out of that darkness, light emerges. So this is a kind of a circular pattern. There is no such thing as void. Outwardly there is void. All is the divine. It's a part of his plan. Creation is a projection out of himself. He creates in a very systematic manner, orderly manner, because he does not like disorder. There is no disorder. Disorder is a sign of ignorance. Where there is no ignorance, there is no disorder, no disequilibrium, nothing that is vague. There is a kind of a pattern that slowly emerges consciously, where this earth's solid vest was forged by the technique. Technique is knowledge of handling some substance. You know how to work it out. Of the atomic void, a lucent envelope of self-disguise was woven round the secret spirit in things. There you are. The secret spirit, the consciousness has been there at the beginning, it is there in the middle, it is there in the end. At every stage, it wears a different clothing. And that dress is hiding the spirit. We are all essentially souls. We are all spirits. We all wear different coverings. We have different levels of possibilities of manifestation in our mind, in our life, in our body. They are all made of the substance of matter. There is no repetition. I am not you, you are not me, and yet we are all one. So the same principle is at work everywhere. That sense of multiplicity, which is born from that oneness. And so this is the whole atomic void. It divides itself into the many. And each aspect of the many is an expression of the one.
Jhumur-di, lucent envelope refers to?
Envelope is your dress, is your body. At this stage it was lucent. Later it becomes darkened. When this is the subtle physical. The subtle physical is not, you might say, heavy. The physical is touched by the unconscious. It becomes dark. So our bodies do not manifest the soul necessarily. Usually it does not. Sometimes through this dense body, something of the soul does come out. in your movements, in your expression, in your activities. The spirit does manifest itself. That is what is human greatness. You break out of your mold and you achieve things that are exceptional. But basically, it is as if the spirit has accepted to be covered by an envelope. At this level of the subtle matter, this envelope is not covered by the dirt of matter. It is not inert. Inertia is heavy, dull, resistant. It is not there at this level. Therefore, it is still lucent. So there are things like we have ideas, idea of a particular form. The artist, for instance, gives a form to a inspiration, to a conception. That form is perfect in his conception. It does not have the resistance of dense matter. When that form is manifested in shape in the world of matter, he meets with other difficulties. The resistance of matter, the incapacity of the human body to transmit. The sculptor does not always have the material with which he wants to work. The sculptor does not always have the mastery to express that vision that he had in his head. So what we conceive of and what we achieve are not on the same level. You can conceive of a world of marvelous beauty. Man has always had dreams of beauty. Beauty is that. Beauty is the principle of the divine in the world of manifestation, in the world of form. When we manifest things, often it is not so beautiful. Often it is less than beautiful. Because there are other things that have come into play. The intervention of darkness, of ignorance, of incapacity, of ego, all kinds of resistances, they come in the way. And that is the whole journey, that we have to break our way out of this world of darkness and ego, but not out of the world of form. That is the thing, to perfect, that is the emphasis Mother has laid so much on, the perfecting of the physical body. This is the last thing that Sri Aurobindo wrote, the manifestation of the divine body. The body is not to be given up. It's dull, heavy inertia, ignorance, that has to be given up. For a long time, that gravitational pull is our, you might say, stable base. Inertia is stable. So we are not shaken. The moment you try to manifest something out of that stability, you enter into different possibilities of expression. Among those possibilities, some are incomplete. Some have not yet perfected themselves. But the artist is always trying, for instance, to manifest that beauty which he can never forget. He has seen it in a vision, and he cannot manifest it because of all kinds of external, you might say, impediments. Just like the musician. The musician hears, the artist sees. But this seeing and hearing is not by the physical eye or the physical ear. There is a kind of a connection that man can have in his consciousness, which is the inner hearing, the inner sight. With that we can relate to that world of beauty and perfection in the world of manifestation. Manifestation is a projection of the origin. But at present, this projection is imperfect. And the whole yoga is to make this external projection a manifestation of the perfect. It is not to withdraw from manifestation. It was so difficult that earlier sages used to say, just get out of this world. It's not possible to manifest the divine in a body. It has all its needs, its demands, its incompletenesses, its weaknesses. Just get out. Just be one with the spirit. Then why was matter made? To start with. All is the manifestation of the divine. There is nothing that is not the divine. So you have to remove those things that come in the way of that perfection. So if, for instance, I have to play some musical instrument and I play badly. Do I have to stop playing? Or do I learn how to play better the instrument? We have to learn to live better. We have learned to act better. In our physical bodies also, we have to manifest that perfection that we can dream of. That is this world of vision, of dreams, which we have to put into execution. That is the importance, the manifestation of beauty. A lucent envelope of self-disguise. The self is the spirit. It is hiding. When a person is in disguise, he is hiding behind the outer appearance. That doesn't mean he's gone away, he's there. You have to look for it. That is the secret of existence. Was woven around the secret spirit in things. This is the seeking. This is the first stage. You have to seek for the truth that is hidden behind the outside. The outside of things is not the truth. The real truth is behind and within. You have to keep on going deeper and deeper within. The subtle realms from those bright sheaths are made. These realms, these kingdoms are made from those sheaths. Sheaths, they are called kosha. They are like envelopes. You remove one, the outer ones are denser, the inner sheaths are not so dense, but they are still sheaths. Like you have a kind of the truth, you have an idea of the truth, and you have an expression of that idea. The outer expression of that idea may be even more clumsy. The idea may be a little flexible, but still imperfect. You have to go to the spirit. You have to unite with the original consciousness. This wonder world, with all its radiant boon of vision and inviolate happiness. See, this is a vision. The world of beauty, is always the world of joy. The Sat Chit Ananda. Ananda has to be beautiful. It cannot be other than lovely. Wherever there is a distortion, there is ugliness. Wherever there is a twist, there is some kind of an imperfection. There is ugliness. So beauty and love and joy is a triple term. This is what Sri Aurobindo describes in one of his other texts. The term Ananda is a triple term of beauty, love and joy. They go together. Where there is one completely, it has to be together. Where there is beauty, there has to be joy. Joy cannot be there if there is some kind of egoistic love, possessiveness, ugliness of behavior. They all go together. That is kind of existing, living this beauty. If I have to live this beauty in my physical life, I have to become a different person. The person in me has to be inwardly beautiful. Outwardly beautiful, just the world of beauty, just the world of form, is just a mask. It's the inner perfection that manifests itself as beauty. It's a divine principle, and it always gives a sense of harmony, a sense of joy, a sense of a complete expression of the divine. This is what the bhakta looks for. This is the yoga of bhakti. This is not the yoga of knowledge, but the bhakta looks for that. This wonder world, with all its radiant boon of vision and inviolate happiness, that happiness that cannot be taken away, only for expression, cares and perfect form. At a certain stage, that is what we care for. Care for perfect expression. Fair on its peaks, it has dangerous nether plains at this stage. Fair on its peaks, that's what we are. In our highest notions, visions of beauty, there are flashes of intuition, flashes of creative vision. It does not mean that manifestation is not based on our nature, which has at its foundation unconsciousness, ugliness, to such an extent that we learn how to combine beauty with ugliness. We learn how to join the delight of evil, which is part of our vital nature, and the delight of purity. That has happened when creators live completely on the vital plane. The vital plane, the plane of life, pushes its way out of the physical. The first plane of the physical matter is the world of life. In this world of life, there is a kind of an outpouring of all the forces of manifestation. They get entangled. So just like we also, we can take a great deal of joy, which we call pleasure, that's the problem of pleasure, in something that is less than beautiful. It is very often ugly, of imperfect and violent and confused mode of expression. Sometimes you have that. You have the poet, the French poet, who says, les fleurs du mal, the flowers of evil. That is the delight. He finds in that world, which if you go far enough, it is true. If you go far into the world of evil, there is no such thing as evil. Deep, deep inside evil also is the face of the divine. But he has not gone that far. He takes pleasure in that vital world. Man does. But the asura can. When he goes deep, deep into his ego, he finds that his ego is just a kind of a crust, a hardened crust that blocks his connection with the origin. You break down that crust and you get in touch with that source from which all has come. That is why among the asuras also, there is a tremendous love of perfection. What they do very well. It's the ego that pushes them. But it has become twisted, perverted. That is the original perversion that takes place. But the power remains. So it has dangerous nether planes, which is why the so-called, you might say, evolved human being is asked to avoid the lowest levels of experience as well as the highest levels of experience. Don't withdraw on the highest levels. Stay somewhere in the realm of the higher mind at best. That's culture, that is evolution. Control your faculties as much as you can. Don't attempt too high goals, because too high goals on a basis that is unstable can be very risky. The basis has to be solid. Under the basis of this inertia is what you get in the images of the universal creation, the force of absolute rest. The universe is lying, Vishnu is lying on the back of the snake. The snake is the symbol of evolution. It's completely still. It has gathered all strength. It is out of him that the force of progressive manifestation emerges. So if I can find that divinity, that Lord, at the very core of things, then I can find that the snake is not a creature that destroys. The snake is the creature that breaks me out of my weakness, it makes me evolve out of all my complications and ego towards a higher level. Otherwise, the snake will destroy me. Dragons and snakes. In the Far Eastern cultures, you have images of dragons. They are symbols of enormous energy. This energy, unless it is controlled, it is directed, it controls us. If I can control it, I can control the energy only if I am in touch with that source from which all control has come, that divine force. Otherwise, it is better to stay away from these things. So, for fair on its peaks, it has dangerous nether planes. Its light draws towards the verge of nature's lapse. There you are. Nature's lapse is the fall of destruction. And therefore, this is what happens from time to time. There is a universal chaos, a universal destruction, the pralaya as it is called. Creation, when it is not founded, just like a house. Creation, if you compare it to a house, book 2 is actually compared to a house. If the foundation of this house is not on absolutely divine knowledge and consciousness, the house will collapse. If I build it very high, it has to fall. Our creation, if I live without connecting with my source all the time, I will have to die. The form cannot exist by itself forever. But if I can draw that conscious force, that energy that is at the very core of things, constantly, I will not fall. That is human immortality. I can draw from that source if I know how to do it. That is the yoga of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Death is not absolutely imperative. It is not essential. It is caused by our imperfections. Or as she has put it, as I think I said last week, Mother says it, death is a bad habit. La mort, c'est une mauvaise habitude. That's the thing. That is somewhere we have taken a wrong turn and we've got used to it. You can't believe. It's just not prolonging your life as you are forever. It makes no sense. It will decay. You have to draw from the origin, the source of all power, the all consciousness, the all Sat Chit Ananda. That is the supramentalization. The supermind is a projection of that original Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, conscious force and delight. If that is not there, I can just keep on and on dragging and dragging. After a while, it will break off. It has to fall. It is better if it does. So you can start again with a little improved and conscious effort. Otherwise, it has dangerous nether planes. Its light draws towards the verge of nature's lapse. It lends beauty to the terror of the gulfs. That's it. It makes darkness attractive. Man loves. You love. Why do you like, often, I hope not you, but films on violence? You prefer that to quiet, gentle, good films. Violence is exciting. It churns your vital nature. You feel alive. You watch a play, you watch a film, you read a book where there is excitement. Excitement means danger. Danger means you don't know where you're entering. You are entering into a world which afterwards grabs you. It makes you its slave. You enter into the experiences of certain word terms of the lower levels of the vital nature. Once you enter, you can't come out unless you know how to. That is why it's better to stay away, unless you have strengthened and perfected all the parts of your nature. This is what is described in the synthesis. You describe to perfect all the different parts of your being. Unless we can do that, it is necessary to either not try this or rely on a higher force to which one has surrendered. The yoga of surrender, that is easy. You give yourself to the Divine Mother and you say, you do whatever you like with me. I'm in your hands. I'm not in charge of my life. I'm not attached to myself. That way you're safe. She can take you forward or she can drop you. It's up to her, it's not mine. Look out. Then it's easy. But that is very difficult in the sense that the ego comes in the way. Mother, I ask her to help me, but I want the help I have asked for. I want the blessing that I have asked for. Instead, I don't say, you do whatever you like with me. I don't care what happens to me, I'm in your hands. That way I'm free of problems. But give up that attachment to myself, to my ego. That is not so, it is simple, but it is not easy. It is difficult. Therefore, it lends beauty to the terror of the gulfs and fascinating eyes to perilous gods. These perilous gods are the darkened forces, are the dark. In fact, today you have a film, no, on
Narasimha.
Narasimha. That is the thing. The invests with grace the demon and the snake. Its trance imposes Earth's inconscience. That is Earth's inconscience. Trance is not sleep actually. Trance is when the consciousness withdraws within, goes right inside. It has not gone, but it has withdrawn from the surface. It gives an outer appearance of sleep. Sleep, outwardly you are not conscious of what's happening. But when you are consciously withdrawing all your whole consciousness to the inmost part of yourself, which is your soul, you live within, completely within, then your connection with the external world seems for the time being completely inactive. It may resemble death, it is not death. Immortal, it weaves for us death's sombre robe. Itself is immortal. This world of form is immortal. Death is the robe. This physical body dies, the person doesn't die. The person is not the physical body. This physical body has its imperfections. Imperfections cannot be prolonged forever. It is made of dense stuff, the density of matter. This density of matter is imperfect, is impure, and therefore it has to go. Unless it can be perfected, what's the point in prolonging something imperfect forever? So this is the sombre robe that you wear. You take off the robe. It's not that you take off your being. Your being is there. The self is always there. It never goes away. And authorises our mortality. That's why our mortality, our existence in a body is justified. For a long time, it's justified. Man's first, you might say, yearning and preoccupation, as he says in the Life Divine, is immortality. The thing man has always wanted more than anything else. He has never got the things: God, light, freedom, immortality. He has always asked for these things. Bliss. He has not found them. He cannot find them as he is today. Something fundamental has to be changed. He does not like death. Man does not like death. But he can't stop it. He realizes somewhere something is wrong. Unless that, what is wrong, has to be set right, you cannot just prolong an existence. God, what is God? The Supreme. You want the highest wisdom, you want the highest power, you want the highest knowledge. You have to reach the highest. Not just the highest ego. Not just increase all your capacities at present as you are. You have to reach that source from which all powers come from. You have to be independent, freedom, not dependent on circumstances, not dependent on anything. Man is dependent. I am dependent on everything. I don't exist in and for and by myself. I cannot. It's the universe that gives me life. It's the universe that gives me strength. That universe has the right to take it away from me whenever it wants. I'm not free. I'm bound. If I'm only he, then I'm free. Only he is free. I'm not free. I'm bound. We are bound. And because we are bound, we have to obey the laws that he has made until you have reached that perfection. Therefore, this medium, this world of the subtle physical, serves a greater consciousness, a vessel of its concealed autocracy of the consciousness. It's almost a kind of a dictatorship, a complete imposition of his will. It is the subtle ground of matter's worlds. It is from this world of consciousness that is at work slowly in the field of inert matter that forms gradually emerge. Why each form has its own nature, has its own possibilities. That is up to him. Why does the flower have that particular shape that it has? Why does man have does not have the shape of the flower? His function is not the same. His role is not the same. But the flower has the advantage of having no ego. So it accepts. It doesn't demand. It is there as long as it is there. It has to be dropped off when it is dropped off. Man struggles. He wants something more. He wants to be better. He wants to become stronger. He wants to live longer. Something has come in the form, the play of the vital, the urge of desire. In the mind, the urge of notions of what should be, what should not be, what could be, why cannot I be like this? All these movements have started. The flower does not ask to be a bird, it remains a flower. It doesn't complain. And so there is very little suffering in that world. In our world, all the twists and turns are there, the pain is there, but the possibility of change is far greater also. Because the pain is there, the possibility of coming out of that pain also is given. Wherever there is a difficulty, there is a hidden solution that is behind the difficulty. We have to look for it. A vessel of its concealed autocracy, it is the subtle ground of matter's worlds. It's almost an oxymoron, a subtle ground. Ground is solid, subtle is not solid. It's transparent. Just above this world of solid matter, there is this world of possibilities, of the subtle world. This is why this is called the Karan Jagat. Above our world, the world of possibilities. It's a world of form. What is and what can be is just above us. It is the immutable in their immutable forms. In the folds of its creative memory, it guards the deathless type of perishing things. That is why. Things here perish, but the type doesn't. For instance, if a species becomes you might say, disappears, a particular flower has disappeared from nature due to our way of handling nature. If I can get that flower back to bloom again, it will have the same form. It is as if there is a consciousness in that world of the subtle physical that said this particular flower had this color, had this form. That remains, it doesn't go away. The particular form goes away. That specific individual goes away. Man, the specific individual, may go away. The form of man does not go away. The concept of man does not go away. Its lowered potencies found our fallen strengths. Its lowered potencies. In us, there is more potency, because in us there is a contact with earth. Solid earth is the field of manifestation. There is always a combination between earth and sky, between consciousness and nature, matter and soul. The original creative forces. One is nature, one is spirit. Uranus and Gaia, or you have this, I am the son of the soil by the body of, I am the son of the sky by the body of the earth, as it is said in the Vedas. I am a child of the earth, but I am the child of the sky also. Man is a meeting place of two worlds, and that is the basis of our mutable forms. And in this creative memory, it guards the deathless type of perishing things. Its lowered potencies found our fallen strengths. Its thoughts envelop our reasoned ignorance. Its sense fathers our body's reflexes. In our body there is knowledge. The instinctive knowledge that is there in the body is the reflex. But it is knowledge. not thought out by the mind. Usually, therefore, the reflex is correct. The moment your reasoning comes in, you always classify, judge, choose this or that, is this right or that is wrong. So in the field of mind, possibilities multiply, the possibilities of error, the possibility of truth, different combinations, it becomes much more complex, but also more varied. And error also is there. Whereas in the body's reflexes, there are no errors. There is no thought. It's instinctive, it's natural. It comes from this world. Okay, we stop there today. It's a very long class. Yes, Tatiana, fine?
Question I have.
Huh?
Yes, question.
Do you have a question? Sure. What is your question?
You said, Mother, you make me or break me. But at the same time, if I have a difficulty, I have to overcome it.
No, if you have given yourself to the mother, you don't have to overcome. You ask her to do it for you. If she wants you to overcome it. If she doesn't want you to overcome it, let her be. You say, do whatever you like, that's simpler. But if you want, there are two paths. There is the path of the conscious progress which you make. There is no surrender. You strengthen your capacities, your faculties, and you say, I want to progress. You improve, you evolve, you develop your faculties. Or the other path of surrender, I don't ask for anything. I'm in your hands, do whatever you like. You don't make any conditions, you don't make any demands. That's why Mother says, then I'll do your sadhana for you. But she will do my sadhana for me if I let her.
But also Sri Aurobindo says your surrender shouldn't be a passive surrender. Passive.
Not passive, it's very active. You have to offer yourself totally and renew that offering at every second. It's continuously to renew that self-giving. It's not that once I've given you, today in the morning I say, yes, I'm yours. Afterwards, when things happen which I don't like, I say, why is this happening to me? I gave myself to you and now you're hurting me. That's a very conditional self-giving, it's not giving. It asks, it's a barter. It's like, I give, you give. I take, I'll give you, but you must give me. Mother uses that word, barter, exactly. In the entretien, she uses the term marchandage. I'll love you if you love me. That is not love. That is not giving. You give and ask for nothing in return. Whether you get everything or nothing is no longer your business. So, she gives the instance, I think that example of the little kitten and the little monkey. The little monkey hangs on to its mother's back with its little arms when the mother is jumping from one tree to the other. And what it has to do is not let go of his mother's back, but his arms are not strong necessarily, he might fall, because it's a baby monkey. But it's up to him. The kitten doesn't even ask. His mother will pick him up and take him wherever she thinks he should go. And all he does is nothing. He's perfectly happy. But there is no demand. That is not easy. The vital is made of demands.
And what about responsibility? Responsibility?
You have none. If you have surrendered, it is not your responsibility. It's up to her. But if it is your responsibility, it's not surrender. That's the choice, isn't it? The man has evolved an intelligence and a certain sense of character, and responsibility comes with a developing character, no doubt. Then it is not possible to surrender it easily. He says, I have been given this work. I have to do this work as well as I can. It's my work. So you have to do the work. If, for instance, Mother has given you a work, You have to do the work, but keeping in mind, it is not my work. I am doing the work, but she is working through me. That is karma yoga. I am not working, she is working through me. I have to remove that sense of I. It is the one bad word at this stage, the ego. To remove that. But for a very long time, you have to develop that. You have to develop your sense of individuality. But that becomes your stumbling block. You can't go beyond. It finally breaks you. The great achievers in the world, great conquerors, rulers, they had achieved wonderful things. And that same conquest destroys them. Take Caesar, take Napoleon, take Chandragupta, they are all destroyed by all that they have achieved. That same creation destroys them. This is the irony. You've read that play of Sri Aurobindo's Perseus? Perseus the Deliverer? You read that. There is a story of, you will see the dark force of the priest of, it's a legend of situated in Syria in primitive times, where foreigners, and this is all symbolic, you have to see the allegory. Foreigners who come and land on the shores of Syria have to be offered to the god as sacrifice, human sacrifice. Then that god is pleased. This is a vital god, this is the Asura. That year, if there are sacrifices made, there is harvest, there is a great deal of plenitude, the people are happy. If no foreign ships have come and no foreign travelers have been captured, that year there is drought and the god is not happy. That is the starting point. And who has to do this? The priest of the god. He gets that sense of power when he kills human beings. Now the daughter of the king, she is like the psychic being, Andromeda. She can't bear the fact that you impose suffering on people and you kill them. And she is the only one who is open to the new change. The god, the son, the god, he's the son of God. Perseus comes, he's actually the son of Zeus. So it's like a messenger of the gods. He comes and together they will build a new age. They will destroy this old tradition. Man has to overcome this age of the vital power, vital authority, the vital joy you get in destroying, and enter into an age of the spirit, of consciousness. Until then, this reign will last. You have to establish a new age and a new character. When you worship only the divine, compassion, love, and not make any demands on controlling power. It's one of the things he wrote even in Pondicherry, one of the last things. He gave a lot of importance to this. He made quite a few versions of the play. It's very beautiful actually, this play. Very profound. So, in the last sentence, Perseus says one sentence that we can all try. Adore, and what you adore, attempt to be. What you adore, you be. So if you attempt to be the divine power, you will be. Can you adore the divine power, or will you be adoring yourself? Your sense of power. But if you can offer, then only it is adoration. Adoration comes only with offering. If you can offer, then you don't ask. You take whatever is given as a blessing. You remove the ego. You remove your pride. A new age of love, of beauty, of harmony can then start. This is what the earth needs, no?
Actually, true surrender is very difficult. True
To
surrender
surrender,
is very...
it's
because
most difficult.
A little happens which we didn't
Because you've
expect.
taken
which
so
we
much
didn't
time to
want.
develop yourself. You
And
have developed
also-
all your faculties, and then all suddenly you say, all this is yours, it's not mine.
And also when it doesn't happen what we want. We all, in spite of all surrender, there's something in our mind that this is how we want it. And if it doesn't happen in 1 second, one bit of it, and then we say, oh, no, this is not the correct thing. So
Yes.
it's easier it seems to be passive because you're talking of full surrender, but it is the most
It's not passive at all.
at all. It is the you have to be conscious each moment, vigilant rather, each moment.
You acted in Perseus the Deliverer, no?
Many times.
Yes.
I'm sure
At first
that
I was
must
a
be somewhere
senior.
recorded, or is it displayed on YouTube or something?
Go on Bulletin and you'll see her photos. I see
No,
that
I was
recording.
Cassiopeia.
No, she's telling where is the recording. I said, I don't know. Recording.
Andromeda is the princess, she's very short. She's 5 foot nothing, she's described as just a little tiny thing. But I was the queen, the mother. She stood up against the who had to be killed? Andromeda. Andromeda was the girl who was the cause of the saving the two foreign travelers. So she had to be sacrificed. The God demands sacrifice. One has to go. If those are saved, then she has to go. The queen will not let her go. So it's very, that is very beautiful characterization. All kinds of different characters at all levels. From the lowest level, you have the common people, you have the mental persons, you have those who justify these things. Just like our society, made up of different people. The character of Polydane is very strong. He is the priest.
Devabrata Haldar was also there, no?
Huh?
In one of the places, Devabrata Haldar, Devjani's brother.
This one, no. This one, no. Polydane, the first one was Richard, then Monoj. They were so great. They were fantastic. No, Haldar, not there. The first time it was in 53. There, it was very funny for me. I was only 13 years old. And Andromeda had a friend or a companion or a maid. She was very tall, and she was very thin, and she was very talkative, and she was naughty. And because I was getting taller and taller, and thinner, I was selected to be Diomede. She has beautiful language. He uses long-limbed impertinence, tall inutility. So I was that tall inutility. And the nurse of Andromeda, she was Arotidi. She was a very strict person. And she says, why you are teaching her this? You go for a walk on the beach, you look at the birds, you look at the sea. You're supposed to be there in the palace, you're supposed to work. What are you doing? And so she runs after him with a knife. And we ran on the stage, she's chasing me with a knife. So she says, she said, I saw what happened today. She's the one who came to see that the ship had come, and actually they belong to the past. So she says, we're so happy this ship has come, and there will be harvest, there will be rain, because some sacrifice will be there. They're very happy. She came back. So even the nurse is happy. But she says, no, that those two were saved by a person who was made of sunshine. He was so beautiful. And he had come to save them. And she says, I hope this is not true. He says, of course it is true. I saw it. I saw it happen. She says, then what will happen to the country? Because Andromeda is on the side of that new young man. He is made of gold. He is Perseus, the deliverer. He delivers the country from this bondage to darkness, to evil. And that's the whole battle. So I was that inutility, I remember. Long, thin. I was very tall and very thin. So she tells her father, you have to stop this sacrifice. He says, I cannot. My kingdom will break down if I stop this. This is the law of my kingdom. It is based on this. He says, you have to stop it. We are not here to continue this kind of religion. So it starts with that.